no matter how you got here, you said yes. And because you said yes, by so doing, I believe in some mysterious way, you are here because God nudged you here, and God has nudged us together, this sacred and sometimes scared mystery called the church.
It's really, for me, and I think for a lot of people in our diocese, and really in the Episcopal Church USA, a kind of an exciting time to be an Episcopalian.
The opening liturgy, the service, was just so beautiful. What really made it stand out for me was that you had 300 Episcopalians all worshiping in the same place, and they were all in. They were all there because they chose to be there. It wasn't just a routine for them on Sundays. They were all in the worship, and that was just the kind of worship service that gives me chill bumps. The music was beautiful. The procession of all the clergy in their full vestments. It was just such an amazing experience, and it brought me a glimpse of heaven in the here and now. I was really impressed with all the speakers that we had. We learned about Beckwith Camp and Retreat Center. We learned about Murray House Assisted Living, about Wilmer Hall Children's Home, about Cursillo. We learned about youth and young adult ministries, and several of the youth actually came up and told their stories and told what it meant to them to be part of our church, and reminded us that the youth of our church are not the future, they are the here and now. I think for most of us, the most inspiring part of convention was on Friday afternoon when Bishop Russell said, okay, we are going to take some time to break into small groups and talk about Jesus. And that's when he really put the focus on evangelism. He showed some videos. We were asked to think about them and reflect on them, and then we broke into small groups and we discussed our experiences with the church and being followers of Jesus, and then how our church was reflecting evangelism in our communities, and think about some ways that we could continue to do that and expand upon that. So we broke into small groups, and talking to our groups, we got so many ideas of things that we can do and that other churches are doing in our diocese. And it was so exciting because you see that we are not a large denomination, especially for this area, but we are doing so much, and we are doing so much good in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, and just reaching out to our local communities through these small ministries that are making a difference in people's lives. And it's so inspiring, and it makes you want to be a better Christian and to be more of a helper, and to just do more when you see how much so many others are doing. Whether you pronounce it gala, gala, or gala, Episcopalians love to cut loose and have a little fun, and that's exactly what we did on Friday night. Now, don't get me wrong, we got a lot of business done, but what will really stick with me is the inspiration, the energy, and the sense of optimism that I felt just from being there. During the lunch on Friday, we had a box lunch and we ate it on the grounds. It was beautiful weather. And we sat, our little group from St. Jude sat in the labyrinth area and we ate our lunch. And a group of singers came out and they serenaded everyone. And it was just beautiful. And after lunch, Bishop Russell asked, "How did you enjoy the music?" And we all said, "Yes, it was beautiful." And he said, the singers on the grounds were a group called the Gilead Singers, and their ministry is to go sing to people who are dying. And then on Saturday morning, during morning prayer, the music was provided by the Pike County Prison Ministry Band. And their ministry is to go into prisons and take church to the prisons through the music that they play. It was just so inspiring and powerful to meet these people who are living what Jesus taught. They are going to visit the sick. They are going to visit the people in prison, and they are taking a ministry there. And it just makes you want to be a better person. Everybody that we met was just so nice and friendly and genuine, and you could really see how they were living the gospel, and it was inspiring and very positive, and it made us want to come back. And that's really what Bishop Russell was talking about with evangelism. Do others see Jesus in us? Do they see how we're living and say, that is the kind of person I want to be? That is the kind of Christian that I want to be? Because that's really what he's talking about with evangelism, taking the church into the world.
We gather together, we remember who we are, we remember whose we are, we remember what we are called to, and then we make that decision to go out those doors and present Jesus to our community and present Jesus to the world. When we do that, the world is transfigured. It is changed little by little. We have fulfilled our role as a church. May God give us the strength and the courage to go out the doors, to present Jesus in every relationship that we have and every encounter that we have, so that God can transfigure this creation and the goodness with which God created it may show through to every human being.